Welcome DCL lovers. You are listening DCL Talk Show on DCL Radio. Today is August 23rd. We are into the last week of regular season and lots at stake now. To walk you through what is going to happen and what are the predictions for next week, and what are the chances for different teams which are on borderline to make it to 16th, 15th, 14th positions. We have our regular analyst Imtiaz, and we also have our firebrand analyst guest of the night, Ram Saladi, on the line, and we're still waiting for KK to join. So before we get into all these things, as usual, I would like to say thanks to each and every umpire who worked tirelessly last weekend. With that, let me welcome Imtiaz. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jagan. I would like to welcome all the listeners for this exciting last week of the regular season, and hope we go through some of the key games for the next week, and we'll discuss that with our guests for tonight.
Okay. Welcome, Ram Saladi, the firebrand of
Thank you, Jagan. I'm very calm. I don't know why you keep calling me firebrand. I'm just now I'm more confused. I don't know if I can analyze further.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the last week of DCL, and thank you, Jagan. Thank you, Imthi. We have good last week. Things to analyze and things to move forward and look forward to.
Also, KK joined the show. Welcome to the show, KK.
Thanks, Jagan.
I'm sure you are excited about this week. And so before we get into our regular discussion about who can make it, who cannot make it, in another 5 minutes, Ajay Reddy wants to come join the show and do some announcement for this weekend for a nice musical show. So while we wait for him to join, let's start our discussion. Okay, Imthi, before getting into our discussion, do you know the rules of the seeding 1 to 16? What are the rules? Any idea?
Thanks for putting me in the spot, but I hope I get this right. The seedings would be based on the first would be the points, and then the second would be the number of wins every team has. The third priority would be the run rate, and the fourth one, I think it's the number of runs scored by the team.
Okay, I still don't know. Don't have to go that far, I think. But
okay.
What you said is absolutely correct. The first thing is always number of points. Okay, whoever gets the more points, the highest points, they'll be at number 1, and same follows. Just in case if two teams tie with the points, what will happen is first they look at a number of wins they had. There may be a chance that both teams tie with number of points, but number of wins may be more for one team. So obviously that win has more value, number of win has more value. So that will become the second criteria. Even after that, both teams have same number of wins as well as same number of points. Then what happens is they'll check whether is there any head-to-head result. That means if they played in the regular season, whoever wins, they'll take the higher seeding there. If both are not, then obviously net run rate. So we can only talk about that point. After that, what happens? And our rule book says it's more or less toss. So I hope.
I just wanted to bring one point, Jagan. When you said the head-to-head, I think that would be within the pool itself. But when we are seeding across the pools, I'm not sure how we can bring that into the equation here.
Seeding across the pool, see, just in case if they are from same pool, then head-to-head. If it is not there, net run rate, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Number of wins. If number of wins match, number of points match, and there is no head-to-head, obviously net run rate comes into picture.
So, Jagan, I have a couple of questions
Sure.
on this formulation. First of all, the way the 16 teams are going to come out is, the top 5 teams from each of the pools are going to be put into the list of knockout teams, and also the next best team among all the 3 pools will be taken, and it will be added as the 16th team. And
Exactly.
after this is done, then they are going to list them as per the highest number of points, then the highest number of wins, and then your net run rate, isn't it?
Yes, that's how it happens.
Okay, but here I have a question. Why are we following a method which is absolute, which is decided by ICC as absolute? When within the pool, when you have 2 or 3 teams with the same number of points, then you are looking at the highest number of wins. And after the highest number of wins, you are looking at the head-to-head games, right? Which is now considered as absolute by ICC, because when you go through a round-robin method, each team is playing every other team in the pool, and then your head-to-head no longer comes into picture. That's the method which ICC is implementing, but in these we are still following the old method of considering head-to-head.
See, I don't know how to answer this one. This is what presented to all the captains, and they agreed to this one. So.
My question is not who did it and why we did it. My question is, when we are playing with such good standards, I think even our rules should reflect that, and we should of course follow the ICC standards, at least in terms of ranking the teams after the league games are done.
I'd say I need to check that one. Say I have no idea about this part until you discuss now. So probably that is something it needs to be, it needs to be presented to all the captains next year so that they can take voting on this one and decide on this. Okay. And see, before I go to Ram Saladi with my next question, we have a caller join in 315-200-3750. I'm thinking this is Ajay. Ajay, is that you?
Oh, no, Jagan, this is Sandeep Gopu.
Oh, Sandeep, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Come on. So what is?
I think Jagan, I think you just made Sandeep Gopu's number public.
That's okay.
No, I just called just to say like DCL radio is going so good, and I just want it to be more exciting from now on, just because the playoffs are starting in a week in 2 weeks. So just wanted to congratulate you guys. Like this year, it's being more exciting than last year. So let's continue the momentum and let's see how it goes.
Yeah, thanks
and,
a lot.
As I think Jagan, I spoke to you earlier later in the evening, saying instead of talking more about the games, let's talk about more exciting stuff and have the listeners count go up rather than go down.
Thank you. We will definitely follow that one. Okay.
And
hey, Gopu,
Jagan, I have a question for Gopu.
All right.
I'll let Ram continue. I'll go later.
Hey, Sandeep. Congratulations for being on top of the list along with the Raptors this time. You both have, I think, tied at.
Oh, actually, Raptors are number 1. GLCC will be number 2, and we will be number 3. But yeah, thanks, Ram.
But I'm just looking at the points, right? So we are just talking about seeding. So if you put all teams together, then 49 is the highest number of points today, right? So GLCC has 48.
Right, but
Thunders has 49.
Yeah, that's right. But Thunders are done all with with all their league games. So Raptors and GLCC are still having one more game to go. So based on my assumption and this thing, I think Thunders would be at number 3 if GLCC beats TCS Stallions. But that would be
okay. So they're So as of this week, you're
let's see.
The world, man. Enjoy this.
Yeah, but anyways, we would have some surprises at the end, saying Brownstown and Pokiris are in the fight. If they win this week, I think one of those will be playing Thunders in the pre-quarters.
Wow. Okay, that's
I
very
mean,
good.
that's my analysis, but let's see how it goes. But based on what I see, I think we might play Brownstown in the pre-quarters. From whatever analysis me and few of my other folks did. I mean, just before, like after the last weekend games.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Jagan, can we have Gopu hang in for a minute, because I have a question for him. Yeah, and before we go to the question, right, to all the listeners, Sandeep Gopu is the captain of Indus Thunders team, and Indus Thunders is the defending champion. So, a lot of pressure on you, right, Gopu?
No pressure at all.
I take that. Okay, the question to you is, who do you consider are the top 4 teams in this year's DCL?
I mean, obviously, since you're asking the question to me, I'll just definitely take Indus Thunders as one of the 4 teams. And apart from that, I take Raptors, Gladiators, and the 4th team definitely would be, as per as whatever I see Knockers would be the one. But it's too early to decide. But if at all you ask me a question at this moment, definitely these are the 4 ones.
Yes, it's a nice analysis, Gopu. But one point to note, both GLCC and TCS Stallions are unbeaten this year.
No, the only reason I'm saying is if at all Indus Thunders would, if at all we need to go forward, then we have to beat GLCC. As GLCC, we might have a game against GLCC in the quarterfinal. If at all we are winning the pre-quarters. So that's why I'm saying either GLCC or Thunders. Then obviously I would pick my team.
Okay. So you gave us the top 4
So,
teams or the semi-finalists.
I mean, I'm just hoping that.
Okay, with that, let's get into our topic. Actually, the topic is who will make it to the 16th spot. The first question is, who will make it to this 16th spot? Pokiris, Brownstown, or is there any other team? Okay, I'll start with Imthi thoughts. Imthi, what do you say?
Actually, Jagan, according to me, I think you only took 2 team names, but I think the 16th spot is still a contention between Brownstown, Pokiris, KRCC, and Detroit Bulls. Any of these teams, and even Knockers, could fall into that 16th spot, according to my analysis that I was going through today. Because depending on the game results this week, there is a chance that one of these 5 teams could be the 16th team.
Okay. I agree on that one. See, if Pokiris lose, they are out, right?
Right. That's a straightforward equation for Pokiris. Pokiris versus KRCC is like a knockout game. Whoever wins is going to go through. That is for sure. And then there is another game that might decide is Brownstown. If they lose, they are out. That is for sure. And I think these are the 2 knockout results that might eliminate teams, whereas the other results will just change the positions of the teams in the seedings.
Okay. So, KK, your thoughts?
I believe the Pokiris will be number 16. If the games go as planned, because Pokiris, I believe they are going to defeat KRCC, and so Pokiris will be through. Pokiris will be the 16th team. But if Brownstown loses, then both Pokiris and KRCC will get through, provided KRCC at least grabs 1 point in the game against Pokiris. But if Brownstown loses and Pokiris win with 5 points, then Brownstown is out and KRCC is out.
So who will be the 16th spot then?
That I'll leave it to your analysis. I know which will be the 16th team, but I'll leave it to you.
No, you can tell. That gives some hopes to some team, right?
Yeah, that will tie KRCC and FCC, but we have more number of wins. We'll go through. That is one scenario, and the other scenario is all the games on Saturday get washed out. Then both Pokiris and Brownstown are out. KRCC is in, and if the Sunday games go in, then we are through. So that's a remote possibility, but there is still a.
Okay, so what's the weather gods saying now?
So that's actually a good topic. Yeah.
It's a 60% chance of rain on Saturday, and so if the game between Pokiris and KRCC is washed out, there is no way KRCC is going to play because that secures the playoff spot, and we know the history of Yogesh Mittal, he being leading
It's
Troy
not
Hawks in the past for a couple of years.
Yogesh Mittal. Any team will take that, any day. If you are making it
Yep.
to playoffs means.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah. Ram, your thoughts?
I think I agree with what KK said. So rightfully it is KRCC Pokiris. They need to fight out. So that's what I'm looking for, because there is a real fight there for the spot. But Brownstown, they can always come in. They have good points. So 37 is what they're looking for if they have to make it, right?
Okay. So
let's. So imagine if both Pokiris and Brownstown they win with 5 points in the next game. Then talking about seeding, whom do you think will make it? Both have 37 points.
Pokiris will be the 16th team because they have lesser run rate than Brownstown and they have the same number of wins.
And our Jagan didn't even mention run rate.
Yeah.
He said after 37 points, the next thing is maximum number of wins, right?
They're tying on the number of wins. Brownstown will have 7, Pokiris will have 7.
Okay. So
and they have not played a head-to-head game. So run rate-wise, Brownstown is at 0.1018 and Pokiris is at 0.0424. So Pokiris either have to chase down or put up a mammoth total of 200 and get KRCC out within 30 or 40. That's the only way they're going to make it a 16th spot. But again, go ahead.
Yeah, having said that, so the chances are high for Pokiris, then it is for Pokiris to lose the 16th spot here.
Yes, and also Detroit Bulls have a chance of making it to the 16th spot if they lose to Blazers with 0 points, which means Blazers is going to take the bonus, and that leaves Detroit Bulls at 36 points. That will eliminate both KRCC and Fcc. So that's the 16th point. Detroit Bulls.
That is the point. That is the spot being vacant, right, for Pokiris.
But right now, Detroit Bulls is at a higher seeding, Ram. Currently, they are at 36 points, which means they are already in those top 14 teams. So if Detroit Bulls did not even grab 1 point in the final game, then they'll fall down to the 16th spot with 36 points, whereas Brownstown will be 37, taking up the 14th spot, and Pokiris will take the 15th spot.
Right. So if Detroit Bulls move, then there is no chance for the 15th spot in that case. So it is coming down to Detroit Bulls and Pokiris to lose their spots. Yes. Right?
Okay. And Sandeep wants to add something here. Sandeep, can you?
Yeah, I mean, based on the analysis what I did, I feel like Blazers versus Bulls. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, so sorry, Gino, but this is what I was thinking. Blazers would definitely win the game with taking the bonus as well. So 5 points to Blazers, and I think Bulls will be at I think 36, I believe, and they will be at number 16, and 15th would be Pokiris. Just assuming or seeing like they will be winning against KRCC. If at all, KRCC will bat first. The only reason I say is because KRCC, I see they're easily chasing any total. So I think if Pokiris are batting Pokiris are batting second, I think they can win the challenge pretty easily and get a bonus as well. And coming to Brownstown versus Rockers, I think Brownstown should easily win that game with a bonus as well. So with that, I think Brownstown would be at 14, 15 would be Pokiris, and 16 would be Bulls. That's what I feel.
Wow, you have given a totally different angle to this entire analysis. Okay, let's.
If I can add, sorry to interrupt, but there is an interesting scenario where Knockers might end up on the 16th spot also if they lose to Falcons without the bonus, because they will end up on 35 points, which is the least among the top 16.
Yes, Imthi, I think you're right, but I mean, nothing against Falcons, but a game for Knockers, like in this situation, I don't think they will come up with a weaker team, and I'm pretty sure Knockers will be all having the strong 11, and I think they should be winning it pretty easily against Falcons. That's what my assumption, and they should be winning with a bonus.
It's definitely do or die situation for Knockers. There's no doubt about that one. They have to bring in their A+ game.
But Gopu, do you really think Knockers are going to grab that victory against Falcons? Because Knockers have been playing a very conservative cricket throughout this year's DCL, wherein the other teams are just hitting those maximum number of runs in each innings, and Knockers are still just getting to 110, 120, and in their bowling they are giving away about 100 runs to even the low ranked teams.
I agree with you, KK, but the only crack this game because this is kind of a playoff game or a knockout game instead, I can say. So even though they are 16, I don't think Knockers would like to be at 16 spot. So I would definitely feel like they would rather take this game as a knockout and get their 11 and show their potential on how they wanted to be in the top 10, I believe, rather than be at the 16th spot. So I am assuming like Knockers would definitely pack it back, and I think they would definitely get a win with a bonus. Nothing against Falcons, but since Falcons are already through, I'm just saying Knockers would be under tremendous pressure, but I think they will deliver with that pressure.
But I see it the other way. Knockers have stumbled in the last 2 years in the playoffs. They've lost to Brownstown, they've lost to Rangers.
Okay.
Yeah, but just mark my words, KK. We'll talk after this weekend, and you will definitely agree with me.
Okay. Anyhow, we will see what is going to happen next week. We'll get clear picture. But at this time, there are a lot of teams that have a chance to grab that 14, 15, 16 spot. Okay.
Hey, Jagan, one interesting observation between Falcon and Knockers. I like both the teams because they're very good bowling teams. They bat well too, but their core strength is bowling. But if you see Falcons, they have not got the opponents all out many times in this season. Whereas Knockers have been consistent, they have been true to their bowling strength. So advantage Knockers there. I agree with
that's another interesting point to note.
All right, sure. It will be interesting game, definitely.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting game. There's no doubt about that. And let's get into our next topic. Next topic is we have too many new teams into the season, and which have given very good competition. Like for example, say Canton 11, they did wonderfully, and we expected a lot from Karnataka Eagles. Unfortunately, they didn't. But Legends, they lived up to their name. So, your thoughts, Imthi?
Definitely, Jagan. Legends was one of the teams to watch out for even in the beginning of the season, because we all know the players have played for different teams throughout the seasons, and they have played in other tournaments as a team, so they have that bonding already, the team gelling. So they were one team to watch out for, and they did live up to their expectations, and rightfully so. They booked a spot for the top 16. They had a few off days during few of the games, but I think they have been more consistent enough, and I think they do deserve that spot in the top 16. So kudos to the team, and congratulations on making it to the playoffs in the very first season.
Ram, what do you say?
Yeah, I agree 100%. It is always great to be making it to playoffs in very first season, and also like Imthi said, it is not like it's only a new team, but they're not new players. They have a very good experience, very proven players in TCL. So, but getting it all together in very first season is always a great achievement. So, congrats to Legends there.
Yeah, KK.
I think I'll start with KRCC. KRCC have not lived up to their expectations. One of the prime reasons being their players, including their captain, have been playing in other tournaments and not playing DCL. So they're missing few of their key performers in most of the games, and that hurt them real bad. Whereas Legends have made sure that for the most number of games they have their prime players, and they have recruited, and I have seen it happen. They have recruited. They have got the players flying in from other states to play in this tournament, and their captain has done a fabulous job. And we have to give the credit where it is due. Legends have hardly lost a game, hands down. Like they lost to Rockers, but that was one off day where they got their mix of. They got the right from the start. They got everything wrong. But if you look at all the other games, they have not been outplayed in any single game. They have put up a fight. They have made sure they get those points and make it to the playoffs. And they made a mark this season. And if there is a new team that is coming in, last year we were talking about MI Rangers playing to such potential, but this year we have to appreciate Legends, their skipper, and their entire unit should make it to the playoffs. The first season in DCL making it to the playoffs is not such an easy task, and they have done a fabulous job. And hard luck to KRCC, but Legends have lived up to the expectation. And coming to Canteen 11, there most of the players are from the rest of the DCL teams. They have played DCL and they gave us a good fight here. They crossed the number of 30 points, but unfortunately only 16 teams can make it to the playoffs. So hard luck to Canteen.
Gopu. Gopu, are you there?
Yeah, Jagan. Yeah. So coming to KRCC, I really felt like one of the finest teams, even though they are not qualified to playoffs this year, but you'll definitely see a tremendous improvement in their team chemistry and in terms of the rankings next year. And because there are a few players like Sushant in KRCC, Hemant, Sushant, there are a few other players, but they were not playing all the games. But if they play all the games and you see KRCC be on the top, and everybody know like they surprised Glads. It's not a surprise, but it's like the team chemistry is really good. But only thing is the right players should be there for all the important games. Coming to Legends, definitely a team to be noted, and this is something like we since they are in Pool A, we already know how good of a team they are. So I think whoever plays in the playoff, I think they better be careful than just be casual, because a team which cannot be taken so lightly, because they have a very good bowling unit and very good top order batting. So I just feel like if at all Legends go to the next level and quarters or semis, I think that's all because of Satish Bellamkonda.
Okay, congratulations to him. And let's quickly get into our key games of this weekend, like KRCC versus Pokiris.
Jagan,
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt there. I like to add mention of one player, Arjun. I don't know which team he's from, SSK or
Arjun Chittimani.
Sangha, you know?
He's from
Tamil
Pasanga.
Tamil. I don't know which team, but we need to appreciate that guy because he's a new player to DCL, new team, and he goes on, hits a century. That's a great achievement.
Yeah, see, the only century scored in this season, and of course we have one more game to go, and I hope nobody beats his record. The only guy to score century in a season.
Yeah, that's a great feat. Not a team, but as a player.
Rookie.
Yeah,
being
a rookie.
Yeah.
All right, please continue. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, so there are key games for this weekend is an KRCC versus Pokiris. This is a do-die situation for both the teams. Whoever wins, they'll make it to the playoffs, and whoever loses, bye to the season. And of course, the lucky part for this year is those who did not make it to the playoffs. Don't worry, we have two. We added, and DCL committee added two more championship lines to the DCL championship. One is plate, one is bowl. Okay, and I'm sure all the teams are teams will participate eagerly, participate and play with the same potential. And all these winners will be presented, trophies on the stage during that DCL night. Okay, and with that, so KRCC versus Pokiris, to win this game, what these teams have to do? I'll start with KK.
If it comes to KRCC, I think they had to put in Pokiris first and just chase the total.
Simple.
That is what KRCC needs to do. But coming to Pokiris, even if they bat first, they should not get into a panic mode, which we have seen in the DCL finals. They have made it. I think that's the team who made it to the finals the maximum number of times and lost it in almost all locations.
Okay. Imthi. Imthi, are you on the line?
Wins the game will go through, so that kind of puts an additional pressure on both the teams. But to look at the strengths and weaknesses of each team, I think KRCC has been doing absolutely fabulous when they're chasing any total. I think they are comfortable chasing, and I think if they win the toss, they'll definitely do the same in this game also. And for Pokiris, they have had an up and down season, but I think they are pulling up their socks at the right time. And I think they just have to finish strongly in their last game and qualify to the top 16. An interesting observation that I see is the net run rate of the two teams. KRCC has a negative net run rate. That means they have been conceding more runs than they have been scoring. So maybe Pokiris want to highlight on that feature where they might want to get them out soon. And I think both the teams would want to chase in this game. That is another thing. So the toss is again another crucial thing in this game. So hopefully whichever team gets that right might go on to win this game, and that might book the 16th spot. So good luck to both the teams. I know it's a knockout, so both of them hopefully will come up with the strongest unit and give a good competition out there.
Hey, Ram.
Yeah, I agree with that. The KRCC, the strength in KRCC, while they are chasing, it comes from very select few players. So I'm pretty sure Pokiris are analyzing all this, and I think the Pokiris strategy would be to get those key wickets early. Then it becomes Pokiris game, and Pokiris need to control their emotions. If they know that this is a do or die game, then Pokiris have struggled in that area. But for KRCC to win, same thing, they have to try to chase and not give in to Pokiris attack and play their cool game. That would make KRCC their chances better in this game. So it is a war of nerves rather than anything else.
Okay, Sandeep. If you are the captain, what is the weakness you see in both these teams, and what are the strengths you see?
I mean, KRCC definitely. What I feel is it's not a weakness or it's not a strength, but what I see is it's quite obvious. Like whenever they win the toss, they go for bowling. But whenever they go for bowling, I think one of the games, I don't remember exactly who was the opponent, but they were all out for 27. So I think they're just depending on the batting more than bowling. So I think Pokiris would definitely make that a note, because that is a do or die game for Pokiris as well. So Pokiris being more experienced than KRCC, I believe Pokiris would be doing whatever is best for them. So even though they bat first, I think they will definitely put a total of more than 120. If not, I think KRCC has a better chance. But considering KRCC, I don't think Usama Khalid, who is one of the main batting and bowling, one of the main players for them, I don't think he'll be playing, because based on the sources, what I know, I think he might not be playing this game. So if not, if he doesn't play this game, Pokiris has a better chance. Not even though they bat or bowl first, it doesn't matter for them. So I feel Pokiris would definitely win it like quite easily.
Okay, so the next game in this lot is Knockers versus Falcons, which we already discussed about that one. Okay, Knockers have to win this game. That is what I'm guessing, unless you guys say anything other than what I'm guessing. I hope you're all on page, on same page with me. Any objections there?
That's right, Jagan. But let's identify the key players to watch out in this game.
Okay. Yeah, you start with you then.
For Pokiris, it will be Vignesh. Hands down, it will be Vignesh. It comes down to Vignesh's performance, both with the bat and the ball. If he delivers, then Pokiris are surely in. And for KRCC, Ashish Kotnis has to perform the way he has performed over the last few games. His highest score is 27, but he has scored 90 runs in 5 games and stayed not out on 2 occasions. So he's doing really good, and he's a very good rotator of strike. Is it only 2 boundaries in almost 90 runs?
Okay. About Knockers and Falcons?
Knockers and Falcons. That, so yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Let's go into that game. You can start, Ram.
No, I was saying we already discussed that.
This one. Yeah.
It is do or die for Knockers. For Falcons, they're anyway through.
Yeah.
So the Knockers will definitely fight hard, and they got the talents and they got the momentum on their side to call it a win. But will Falcons give a bonus or not? It's up to Falcons, or they may just fight out as a good practice for the playoff games. So Falcons may come strong too. So we never know. It's an interesting game, though.
Interesting game. Yes, I mean, see, there's no point in discussing this one because Knockers have to win. They don't have any other choice there. So let's quickly get into our next game.
But I think that is the wrong statement, because Knockers are through, but if they lose, they will end up in the 16th position. I think that is the situation Knockers are in.
Oh, okay. So they have
they are through the playoffs, but I think it is the position that they will end up in if they lose. I think that is the key here.
So if they lose 5 points, what will happen?
They will end up in the 16th position.
Okay.
With 35 points.
Okay, that's something we'll come to know next week. Okay, so let's quickly get into our next game, Glads versus Legends. This is the game.
I mean, sorry to interrupt, Jagan, but the only thing is if Knockers lose and if they don't even get a single point, then I think Detroit Bulls might be fighting for the 16th spot. So that's what I see, because they already have 36 points.
That's an interesting angle. Okay.
Because the only thing is, I'm hoping, and I think Imthi would be definitely would have already told to the team, but I'm hoping that Blazers would definitely win it with ease with Bulls, and Bulls being on 36, I think they would be securing the 16th spot. If Knockers lose, then I think Knockers would be out.
Okay.
I think both Blazers as well as Detroit Bulls will have a fair amount of idea by the time they get into the ground, because this is a day-night game for Blazers and Detroit Bulls. The games between Brownstown and Rockers, and also between Pokiris and KRCC will be done by that time, and I think it all comes down to will they chase under lights or will they bat first under lights?
Okay, see, let's quickly get into our next game, Glads versus Legends. Though it is it is just for ranking purposes, win or lose, it doesn't make any difference for these two teams. But how important it is going to be, a win is very important here for Legends. At least that's what I feel. And before even I ask that one, I want to know our analyst mode. Whom they want to win. KK, who do you want to pick?
Going with the strength and weakness, I'll go with Glad. I'll go with Glad for this game, and I really hope that Legends put up a fight, because Glad have lost KRCC, and the way they have rebounded against Indus is phenomenal. And if they have to keep that momentum going into the playoffs, then they will have to win this game with a higher margin. So Glads have a good news as well. It looks like Viju is coming to cheer his team for the playoffs. So they want to get into the playoffs with a winning momentum.
Okay. Imthi, what do you say?
I think definitely Legends will be the underdog in the game, but looking at the playoff situation, Legends will be pumped up too, and they would definitely want to improve their ranking. On paper, obviously, Glads is a strong team. They have a history, and they are a strong team when it comes to playoffs also. So Glads will win the game, but I would like to see Legends giving a very tough fight and try to win this one.
Okay.
I think Glads, it depends on what version of Glads are they playing, right? So they lost to Avengers, right? No, they lost to what team? KRCC. Yeah. So they lost to KRCC. Are they bringing that team or the team that they are? I didn't look at the players. I'm just saying like what team I mean by what kind of energy they are showing up with. Like they really outplayed Thunders, right? So is that, are they playing like how they are playing with Thunders or KRCC? It depends on that day. And Legends, I'm definitely. Or I'm pretty sure that they will be bringing their best team and best energy against Glads. I mean, every team does that against Glads.
Okay. Gopu, if you have to give any suggestions from your experience, what is that you are going to give to Legends tomorrow?
I would definitely give suggestions to Satish, but not on this show, but offline for sure. but the only thing I can say is I don't know if Glads would come with their best 11. The reason being F40, there is a cracker of a game between Novi and RKCC Terminators. So I don't think Novi would lose Arjun Ajbani or few others playing F40. I mean, they wouldn't lose them for DCL game. So I don't know what Viju is planning for, but all I can say, Viju, is don't take Legends easy. They can surprise you any minute because Legends is one of the good teams I saw this year. And I would definitely, if at all, I would have to pick one from Legends versus Glads. I would pick Legends would be the winners for this game.
Okay. The next game is GLCC versus Stallions. And it's another important game, but it's basically, it only tells, somebody is unbeaten this season. Other than that, some ranking here and there will be there. It's of no significance to both these games. Unless you
but I think GLCC has a upper hand there, right? So looking at like number of games not played, this year Stallions, like they didn't play 4 games. Right, out of 11. So they were washed out. But GLCC played 10 games. So I would say that is more experience. And GLCC beat both Falcons and Knockers. So that's a good record to get into playoffs.
Okay. Anybody wants to add anything on that, or we can just jump into our next topic? Okay. Let's jump into our next topic. See, I'm talking about playoffs now. If regular season ends today, and this is what I see, so by looking at these matchups, all I see is every game is going to be a cracker of a game. Every team has potential to beat other team. For example, Raptors versus Brownstown. Brownstown is an old fox. You never know when they'll show up as a great team, and some days they are excellent, some days they are not. But when it comes to playoffs, they'll give more than 100%. And the second game is Indus Thunders versus KRCC. Same thing. GLCC versus Knockers, and TCS Stallions versus Detroit Bulls. Warriors versus Dynamites. Falcons versus Legends. Blazers versus Fcc Agni. Strikers versus Gladiators. Out of these, which one will have a guaranteed win? Any thoughts? KK. KK, are you there?
Sorry, I was on mute, Jagan. Just give me a moment. I'm looking at the games.
You gave a big list, Jagan. You have to go a little slow.
That's fine. I think Raptors are going to beat Brownstown.
Okay.
Indus Thunders on KRCC.
Okay.
Stallions on Detroit Bulls. And then Blazers on Agni and Glads on Strikers. These 5 I can write it down. Whereas the tough games will be between GLCC and Knockers, Warriors and Dynamites, Falcons and Legends.
You think Warriors and Dynamites is going to be really a tough one?
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting observation. Imthi, what do you say? You can
probably
exclude your own game.
Right. Probably I'll agree with KK on the Raptors versus Brownstown Raptors. Indus Thunders versus KRCC would be Indus Thunders. And then GLCC versus Knockers, I would say GLCC just based on the form in this season and how they have been playing. Stallions versus Bulls would be Stallions. Warriors versus Dynamites would be Warriors. Falcons, Legends. This might be a tough one. But I'll go with Falcons just based on strength. I'm skipping our game, and then Strikers versus Gladiators would be Gladiators.
Okay.
If you look at what teams are winning.
Ram.
So, sorry, maybe I was not paying attention. So which list are you talking about here?
So I'm talking
about playoffs
and end today. If playoffs end today, okay. So this is what my question. Probably, and I just got a text from Ricky. Rikin. He said, these are wrong matchups. No, I'm not talking about. I'm not including next week into this one. If playoffs end today, this is the matchups I see. Okay, Raptors versus Brownstown. Indus Thunders versus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So I would say Raptors, Thunders, GLCC. It's hard to pick Stallions versus Bulls. So I will pick Dynamites, Legends, Blazers, and Gladiators.
Wow. Sandeep, you can omit your game.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, I'll see, GLCC, Raptors, Glads, Knockers, Falcons. I mean, the only thing is Falcons versus Legends would be a tricky one because it all depends on Legends because Falcons are more experienced than Legends. But Legends really need just to step up a little bit and, they have a very good bowling unit for sure. But batting, I feel like they need to have 1 or 2 more batsmen to step up in the playoffs and might surprise any team. And Dynamites versus TCS Stallions, I think Stallions would be winning it. I don't know if I missed anyone.
Cool. That's interesting observation. And we still have 9 minutes to go. Before that, as usual, we will do quick predictions of next week games. Of course, we have already covered 4. Before we go to predictions, I just would like to say thanks to each and every captain of DCL league because today committee posted a request to forego their security deposit to help flood relief operations in Kerala, the state of one of the states in India. Okay, so this is the gesture that makes DCL a wonderful organization, and everybody right away said yes. That's a great gesture. I don't have words to say thanks to all these great captains and great hearts. Okay, that is one thing. And the other thing is, I would like to request all the teams to participate in our plate and bowl championship, so that let's together make this league better. Okay, and I'll quickly get into.
Jagan.
Yes, sir.
Before you get into the predictions, I have a question because last year we have not seen a team's enthusiasm to participate into the Contenders Trophy. So this year, are you going to mandate the bowl and plate championships for all the teams, or are you going to request the teams to participate?
Yes, that's what is the plan. It is going to be a mandate, and to make that all teams don't go back after committing. What we are doing is, we are taking $100 refundable. I'm just making a statement here, clear statement. It's a refundable $100, so that you just come, you play, you leave. Okay, you do all your obligations, and you get your $100 back. So that's how we are planning to do it. Okay, and I hope all the captains cooperate with this one. With that, let's quickly get into our predictions. Raptors versus Safaris. Okay, I'm thinking Raptors here, so I hope no objections. Okay. Brownstown versus Rockers. Brownstown is the favor here, but you never know. Rockers can beat Brownstown. Anything can happen here. What do you guys think? KK. Let me start with KK.
Rockers, I hope Rockers win, because that will open the gates to our game. But looking at the paper strength, Brownstown is a far superior team, and I think one of the most experienced unit with a lot of gelling between the players. So Brownstown are going to win this.
Okay, Imthi, what do you say?
Yeah, I think definitely with playoffs on the line, Brownstown won't take this any easy. I know Rockers are a good team, but I think in the might of Brownstown, I think it's a Brownstown's game.
All I would say is, good luck, Southfield Super Kings and Lions. These are the two teams that are umpiring this game. Okay, and okay, Ram, what do you say?
I'll say Brownstown.
Gopu.
Yeah, it's BT easy win for them.
Oh, okay. The next one is KRCC versus Pokiris, and we already discussed about this this game. Predictions. KK.
Pokiris.
Imthi.
Pokiris.
Ram.
Pokiris.
Gopu.
I would pick KRCC just to
challenge these.
To have more motivation and challenge to Ravi Narla to get this going and get into the playoffs for 2018.
Okay. Indus Bulls
versus. I was going to do that. Yes.
Indus Bulls versus Toy Hawks, playing for pride here. I'm guessing Bulls, unless somebody objects that. Anybody? Any objections? I guess no.
After the beating that they have taken against Strikers, Indus Bulls really have to show some character to beat Tri-Hawks.
Okay.
But I'll pick Bulls.
You pick Bulls. Imthi?
Yeah, I picked Bulls, but like you said, it's just for pride and there's no motivation for playoffs. So maybe if Bulls doesn't show up with the full strength, Tri-Hawks might sneak in here. But I would definitely go with Bulls.
Okay, and there's a chance that Indian Bulls may not have full team. Okay. Ram.
That is interesting, Jagan, because I thought Troy Hawks will not have the full team. So that being even, I would.
But I heard something is on this side.
Okay. All right. I'll just pick Troy Hawks just to be on the other side. But
okay. I want Gopu to pick here. Gopu.
Oh, anytime, definitely Indus. Indus Bulls would make it easily. The only reason is, even though this is the last game for the season, but Bulls would definitely take it as a challenge and win it quite convincingly to get into the next year, showing that they're not out of the playoffs anymore.
Okay. The next game of the night is very interesting game, and basically it is going to be a cracker of the game, is what I'm guessing. Tamil Pasange versus FHCC. KK.
Tamil Pasange.
Imthi.
I'm not sure why you call it as a cracker of a game, but I think there is player availability issues here, if I'm not wrong.
For FHCC?
Do you have any insight, Jagan?
For FHCC? No. They are going to come with a good team. Both teams are coming with a good team, is what I heard.
Okay, just to put things into perspective, I think no game should be inconsequential from here because we are announcing the plate and bowl championships. I think rankings will come into place, so every team should play with some motivation here. So with that point said, I think I'll pick Tamil Pasange.
Very good. You made a wonderful point there. These rankings are very important for plate and bowl. Okay, I hope every team is listening this one. Ram.
I will pick Tamil Pasange.
Wow. Gopu.
I mean, I would pick Tamil Pasange as well. Yeah.
Oh boy, 4-0 Tamil Pasange. Fantastic. Knockers versus Falcons. KK. Without any explanation.
Falcons.
Imthi.
Falcons.
Wow. Ram.
Knockers.
Sandeep.
Knockers.
2-2. Fantastic. KECC versus Dark Horses. KK.
KCC.
Imthi.
Dark Horses.
That's a fantastic thing. Okay. Ram.
Dark Horses.
Wow. Awesome. Sandeep.
DH as well.
Interesting. 3-0 DH.
But there is no Mahesh Muthyana. How come Dark Horses will be?
Let's see what happens. We'll come to know next week. Gladiators versus Legends. Without any explanation. KK.
Glad.
Imthi.
Glads.
Ram.
Oh. Glads.
Gopu.
Legends.
Okay, so this is a 3-1 Gladiators. I hope my friend Satish is listening this one and take this one as a challenge. Okay, and prove us wrong. And the next one is Detroit Bulls versus Blazers. Let's not ask Imthi here. KK.
Blazers.
Ram.
Blazers.
Gopu.
Blazers.
TCA Knights versus Blues. I'm guessing Blues because there are several reasons here. One, TCA Knights. All the TCA Knights are going to this DSP program. So, so Blues all the way. Any questions there?
The Blues are not going to the program?
Yeah, that's a interesting question there.
Maybe they will reschedule the game or do something there. Split points.
Not allowed in DCL.
But they can split points, right?
Yeah. How? both teams will get.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Handsome fine.
Even if Devi Prasad doesn't play a hand in this game, I think it's still Blues because the way they're playing, I think it will be Blues.
Okay.
Right. It's Blues. Yeah.
Blues all the way. That's what I'm guessing. Okay. Any objections? Blues. No objections, right? Okay. Let's get into next game. Rising Stars versus MCC Miles. I'm not asking Ram here. KK.
MCC Miles.
Imthi.
MCC Miles.
Gopu.
I mean, I can't answer because I'm umpiring for this game.
Wonderful gesture. Thank you. Warriors versus Agni. KK.
Agni.
This is another playoff matchup. It looks like a playoff matchup for me. Okay. Imthi.
I thought you were not asking me. Warriors.
Yeah, I shouldn't be asking this one. Okay. So I know you're going to say Warriors. Ram.
Agni.
Okay, I'm not asking Sandeep here because their team is umpiring that game. GLCC versus TCS Stallions. KK.
GLCC.
Imthi.
GLCC.
Ram.
GLCC.
Sandeep.
Just to put more pressure on Samish Bhai, I wanted to pick TCS Stallions on this.
Wonderful.
Gopu, you don't have to give the disclaimer every time. Three of us pick a team, then you just pick the other team, right? So Jagan, don't ask
because this is all
if it is a 3-0.
Right, Rambaya. Just to pick somebody else, just to make the DCL radio a little more interesting. That's what it is.
That's so true. Yeah.
Mustangs.
Question for you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is TCS Stallions not going to the DSP event then?
This is 9 o'clock, right? In the morning, Sunday morning, 9 o'clock. So by then, DSP will be sleeping.
So even if they go or do not go, it's not going to change the decision, I guess.
But I mean, Jagan, I just wanted to make a point. Sorry to interrupt, but the only thing I wish this would be a good game, because a couple of years back, TCS Stallions versus GLCC. GLCC beat TCS Stallions. I don't know how many of them remember it. So I guess that would be one of the things TCS Stallions would have in their mind, saying they have to beat GLCC to get into playoffs and to show like they are still unbeaten in Pool B.
Last year, TCS Stallions beat GLCC. Last year. A year before, yes, maybe it is a different story. Last year.
Yeah, that's I agree. I mean, the only thing is like it won't be like just a cakewalk for any of them, but it would be definitely a fighting game for both of them. So
true. There's no doubt about that one. The next one is Mustangs versus Fcc. I'm not asking KK. I'm not asking Sandeep Gopu here. So Ram.
FCC.
Imthi.
Yeah, FCC for me too.
Panthers versus Kites. I'm guessing Panthers all the way. KK.
Yeah, Panthers for me.
Imthi.
Panthers.
Ram.
Oh, tough one, man. Panthers.
Sandeep.
Panthers too.
Okay. With
Hey,
that,
Sandeep, you didn't change. 3-0. Sandeep has to pick the other. But okay. Yeah, that was fun.
okay. So with that, we concluded all the predictions, and we will close the show with the last words. And this is the last regular season game. So I'll start with KK. KK, your last words.
So we have come up with a different agenda today, and I hope we entertained and gave enough information to most of the listeners. And thank you again for sticking with us throughout the entire season. It's been 16, 17 weeks, and thank you for all your support and love. Good night.
Okay. Imthi.
Yeah, I would like to start with thanking our listeners for continuously supporting us week in, week out. And I know we might have confused a lot of folks with all our analysis and predictions of the playoff scenarios. But definitely each and every team who are in the race will be looking at their games and the rankings and seedings and how things will turn out for them. Definitely each team will be chalking that out before going into this week's games. And hopefully all the games this week happen. Hopefully the weather stays out and we get a real competition on the ground, on the field, and decide the playoffs scenarios. So all the best to all the teams, and good luck. Good night to all the listeners. Thanks.
Ram.
Okay, for all the teams who are still fighting for that 15th and 16th spots, good luck, man. After that, it's always fun to see playoffs. I always like watching those nice close games, and every team that fought for those positions, good luck or hard luck depends on your ranking. And thank you everybody, and Jagan for giving this opportunity to speak to you all.
Okay, Jagan garu.
Yeah.
Hello, Andy. Ajay, how are you?
Okay. One second, Ajay. I'll right after our Sandeep gives his last statement, I'll give my okay. Sandeep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jagan. I just called for just speaking for 5 to 10 minutes, but you allowed me to stay for an hour. Thank you so much. All I can say is good luck to all the teams who are playing for this week, and let's hope we see some surprises, and let's have the DCL more exciting, and let's see who will be in the playoffs.
I request
Thank you.
I request all the analysts to be on the line until Ajay finishes. Sorry. Okay, Ajay, take over.
Gangar, thank you. So I have Hemchandra here with me, who is one of the topmost singers in India. He's next to me. So I just wanted to quickly put him online so that he can probably promote our concert, which is happening this weekend, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, Saturday evening. So I would, from my as a promoter, I would wish all listeners, viewers in Detroit to please come buy tickets and make this show a big success. And we're also running a promo now, 50% off promos for all the people, and especially our digital players and folks to come and probably take tickets from either from Atidi restaurant in Troy or from Famous Meats in Farmington. Or you can even text me, I can get all the tickets, whatever is required. So, Anand, Hemaki?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, 1 second.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Welcome to the DCL Radio. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this show is for cricket enthusiasts in Detroit. So,
Super.
And Ajay wanted to do some promotion here for his show coming Saturday. So now
Super.
This mic to you. I mean, all the analysts know about you because most of those are Telugu. So
Thank you. So first of all, I would request all the listeners just come down. I can talk in Telugu, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So అందరూ వచ్చేసి హ్యాపీగా మన హెక్టిక్ లైఫ్ నుంచి జస్ట్ రిలాక్స్ అవ్వాలంటే దిస్ ఇస్ ద రైట్ ప్లేస్. సో అందరూ వచ్చేయండి బికాస్ దెర్ ఇస్ అ లాట్ ఎంజాయ్మెంట్ ప్లాన్ బై డిఎస్పీ గారు అండ్ ఇట్స్ గోనా బి క్రేజీ ఫర్ షూర్. అండ్ ఒకటే ఏంటంటే షో తర్వాత అందరూ 6-pack తో ఇంటికి వెళ్తారన్న గ్యారంటీ అయితే పక్కా. అంత డాన్స్ చేస్తారు అందరూ. సో గైస్ గెట్ రెడీ, సూపర్ గా డాన్స్ చేయడానికి రచ్చ రంబోలా ఇస్ గోనా హ్యాపెన్.
Okay, thanks a lot, sir. Okay, Ajay, do you want to conclude?
Yeah. So thanks, Anna. Thanks for the moment what you gave us. But again, guys, I would request all of you to please pass on the message to all your friends and families, and let's make this show a grand success because this will be like one kind of a show you would have probably ever seen in Michigan. It's like either watch it or miss it. It's like kind of show. So, and then that's all from our end.
Okay, with that.
Thank you, AJ, and thank you, M. Chandra, for for introducing us to the show. We have been hearing about it, so we'll pass on the word.
Thank you so much. So everybody, see you there.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. With that, we'll conclude tonight's show. Good night. Keep listening, DCL Radio.